Good morning, class. Topic of discussion is loanable fund theory or neoclassical theory of interest. This theory is given by a neoclassical economist like Robertson and Wicksell, etc. According to Robertson, loanable fund theory means the interest is a price which equate the demand and supply of loanable funds. Means according to this theory, where demand and supply of loanable funds intersect each other, that point determined the rate of interest, right? So we have to understand two things. One is supply of loanable funds, another one is demand for loanable funds. So first of all, we discuss supply of loanable funds. It consists of four factors: saving, bank credit, disholding, and disinvestment. So what is saving? Saving is the main source of supply of loanable funds. Saving is basically affected by the income of the person. If my income is 60,000 rupees, my expenses of the month is 30,000 rupees, definitely I have some amount. I will save some amount. That amount is 60,000 minus 30,000 is equal to 30,000. That 30,000 I will use to supply the funds to the other party, right? This is known as supply of loanable fund. No doubt it depends upon the rate of interest. Then we have bank credit. Another point, bank credit. Bank has, all commercial banks, public as well as private sector bank, they create credit for the society, for the people, right? It means that higher rate of interest, bank will give you more credit. On the contrary, or on the other hand, if the low rate of interest is low, in that case bank will offer you a very small amount of credit, right? Disholding. This is the third source of loanable fund, that is disholding. Say I have some saving in my bank account. Say I have 1 lakh rupees in my central bank account. So this I can dishold for the people at the desire. If suppose you need money for yourself and you ask for some money, so I will dishold my hoarding. That is possible. This is the case of disholding. Whatever I have, whatever I have last saving in my bank account, I will dishold that for the sake of interest. Then I have disinvestment. Disinvestment is one of the source. It refers to non-replacement of depreciated machines. The amount which is set apart annually as depreciate fund is given on loan. Higher the rate of interest, greater will be the disinvestment possible. So in nutshell, we have supply side saving, bank credit, disholding, and disinvestment. Then here come demand for loanable fund. Demand for loanable fund is basically affected by four factors. One is investment. One is investment demand. Investment demand means a demand for money for the investment on the part of the firm. Lower the rate of interest, greater will be the demand for loanable fund for investment. On the other hand, if rate of interest is high, then smaller will be the demand for loanable fund for the investment. Then we have consumption. When consumption expenditure exceed, when your consumption is more than your income, then people have to borrow money. Why? Because their money is already finished and they need more funds for the consumption reason. In that case, even they demand money for consumption reasons. Say my income is 60,000 and my expenditure is 1 lakh rupees, 40,000 is short. That 40,000 I demanded money for to meet the consumption of 40,000 from other people, right? Hoarding means demand for loanable fund is made by those people who want to hoard it. Say some people need money only to hold the money in their pocket or in their locker or in their bank account. That's why they ask for the money. It also depends upon the rate of interest. So there are three factors on the demand side: investment, consumption, and hoarding. So I plus C plus H means this is demand side. I means investment, C means consumption, H means hoarding, S means saving on other side. Wrongly I put this equal to sign here. The sign is plus sign. Saving plus bank credit plus disholding plus disinvestment, right? Now we have determination of interest. How we determine the rate of interest? We determine the rate of interest on the basis of where the demand and the supply intersect each other. This is the point of equilibrium. This is the OM, is the supply of money. See, this is demand. Demand is always downward sloping, means rate of interest diminishes, then people demanded more. Rate of interest is high, people demanded less. That's why this is downward sloping. Supply is upward sloping. When rate of interest is high, people supply more money. When rate of interest is low, people supply less money. But how this diagram came from? This diagram came from those 4 supply side factors and 3 demand side factor. First is, this is supply curve. This is saving. Saving is a part of supply. Hoarding is the part of supply. Disinvestment is a part of supply. And that another very important point is bank credit is the part of supply, right? On demand side, we have investment, hoarding, and the we have 4 things: investment, demand, consumption, and hoarding. So where they intersect each other, na, that all these factors where they intersect each other, this point actually decide the rate of interest. But how this point decide the rate of interest? Depend upon the market demand and supply for money, right? This is the point of intersection, point of equilibrium. Okay, and this much O, say for example, OR is the rate of interest and OM is the supply and demand for money. Now we have certain criticism of this particular theory, because each and every theory is criticized by the someone. This theory is criticized by Lord Keynes. Lord Keynes gave us after some time the theory of liquidity preference theory, but here we have to discuss the criticism. The vicious concept of hoarding. According to Keynes, the assumption of the theory that amount of hoarding can be increased or decreased, it is totally wrong. Very bad, very wrong thing. The reason is that the quantity of money in the economy remain always same. Sometimes some money belongs to me. Say I have 1 lakh rupees, I spend all 1 lakh rupees. So this is the income, this 1 lakh is the income of someone else. Okay, if someone else spent 60,000 rupees, maybe he borrow something, he bought something from me, that 60,000 the income for me. The income of the economy remains same. This concept is not correct, indeterminate. Next point is, it states that the rate of interest is determined by loanable fund, but this is not correct, right? Loanable fund depend upon income, and income depend upon investment, and the level of investment depend upon rate of interest. Thus, rate of interest cannot be estimated without the rate of income, and income not determined without the investment. Everything depend upon each other. This is vicious circle. Okay, every factor is important. Again, this assumption, full employment, this assumption is incorrect. In economies like developing nations, they don't have full employment situation, they have sometimes even underemployment and unemployment situation. Ignore the effect of investment on income. They again ignore the fact that investment effect of investment on income. According to this theory, people will save more at high rate of interest, but it is not always correct. High rate of interest discourage the investment. Sometimes fall in investment causes fall in income, and when income falls, automatically saving falls. If income is less, how can you save? You try to spend more on consumption or more on saving. So this is all about that loanable fund theory. Take care, do practice of the diagram. That is very important. Thank you so much.